I'm Daryl Vandenberg.
And I'm Nicole Picton, and this is Spoke TV, your source for local and campus news, produced by journalism broadcast students from Conestoga College.
Both Corey Crossman's KoiCon and Maxwell Music House want to see more music in the Waterloo region. They've been separately pushing to have larger venues that will support local artists and music lovers. Sean Cassidy finds out about the new possibilities for our region.
Something tremendous is starting to happen in the Tri-Cities music scene. Passionate music lovers, performers, and music venue operators are pushing the local arts to new levels, forcing them to be seen, heard, and experienced in a way some would say is long deserved. Owner of Maxwell's Music House has plans to take over the Dooley's Pool Hall this May when it closes shop. And on the other side of the city, Corey Crossman, founder of the ARC Band Battle and the Koi Music Fest, is once again leading a new idea to the forefront for local musicians to benefit.
So we're sort of trying to be that sort of middle point to help bands take that next step and sort of launch their career. So Koi is meant to educate and enlighten the local independent music scene.
Educating young talent to head them in the right direction with his new idea, KoiCon. But how?
This is our initial project that we've working on for the first time. Now the idea is to do sort of panels, interactive panels, where the audience can engage with the panel members.
Crossman's plan to hold seminars with industry professionals is growing. The first conference is this coming May and is filling up quickly. Paul Maxwell's plan, on the other hand, may be a little tougher to get going.
And the main thing was we're actually applying for a rezone permit for the location currently known as Dooley's Pool Hall at 35 University Avenue. So we're actually not relocating where we are, we're adding an additional business.
Expanding, not moving, like former media coverage may have led you to believe.
We want to try to operate both facilities because there's definitely a need in the community for a small venue in combination with the music school, because we do a lot of great things with the kids coming through here.
Maxwell's has been a part of Waterloo since 2008 and has been what some would say an incubator for up-and-coming artists. Local videographer Phil Bast agrees.
I think it's tremendously important to have places where people get some exposure, because every time you get up and perform, you grow as a performer, as a young performer particularly.
However, running a business in the arts can be tough, and few succeed.
Probably no surprise that the guy has a degree in business. He operates like a businessman, but his heart is in the music.
Having heart in such a business has created opportunity for those who share the passion. Like Casey Jones, a local musician who is a fan of Maxwell's and its values to the community.
It's got a good crowd. All the staff is great. They seem to be very supportive of the community. It's always good.
Jones is excited for the larger venue and hopes he can benefit from it.
We'll see how it goes. I mean, the larger the venue, the harder it is for a local artist to kind of fill it up. But I think it will be beneficial to bring more prominent artists to the local scene and hopefully get some opening acts in there and build from that basis, really.
Maxwell's goal with the new expansion space is one similar to Crossman's Koi Fest.
The idea of Koi has always sort of been help these emerging artists by bringing in larger artists. So they sort of support each other. The big ones support the small ones support the big ones.
A similar concept, but approached differently.
What Paul Maxwell has done is give emerging artists a stage to showcase their talent, and I think that's been awesome.
No matter which end of town you're in, with people in the community like Crossman and Maxwell, new emerging artists have hope to build their fan base and achieve their goals. For Spoke TV, I'm Sean Cassidy.
43,000 pints of blood are donated in North America every day, and many hospital patients rely on this to stay alive. Stephanie Snedden went to a blood donation clinic to find out how to give blood and when people give it the most.
Would you save a life if you could? Blood donation is an important and selfless undertaking that can give the gift of life, even with just one visit. However, only about 3.5% of eligible Canadians donate blood. But does this number increase around the holidays? Heather Fowler, the Community Development Coordinator for Waterloo's Blood Donor Clinic, helps to answer this question.
Yes and no. I do think people tend to see holiday times and be reminded that, especially over Christmas, it's an important time and a significant time to give.
Approximately 2,000 units of blood are needed in hospitals across Canada every day. This is why people like first-time donator Brian Salter contribute their time and their vital fluid.
I mean, there's a lot of people out there who can get hurt and lose the blood, and I have it to give, so why not? It seems simple.
On average, someone in Canada requires blood or blood products every 60 seconds. With just one donation, you can give a gift that can save up to 3 lives. Blood donations are used to treat fatal injuries and illnesses such as cancer. It is also utilized in hospital procedures such as bypasses, hip replacements, and organ transplants. This is why blood donation is increasingly essential.
It's important to give blood because out of every minute of every day, someone in Canada needs blood. Whether they're in an accident or suffering from leukemia, it's important.
The most common blood type in Canada is O positive, and this blood type can be given to patients with any positive blood type, which represents about 85% of our country's population. O negative is just as important. Although it only represents about 7% of Canadians, it is the only blood type that is compatible with all other blood types. With just one donation, you can change a life forever. For Spoke TV, I'm Stephanie Snedden.
The history of our country owes respect to human rights pioneer David Livingstone, who was a freedom fighter in Africa. Meredith Taylor went to the Castle Kilbride to explore an exhibit that honors this great Canadian.
Castle Kilbride is the pride and joy of Baden, Ontario. Located in the downtown core of the town, Castle Kilbride was built in 1877 by flax industrialist James Livingstone. He named the building after his birthplace in Scotland. The building is now owned by the township of Wilmot. The castle has a long history.
Castle Kilbride was built in 1877 by a man named James Livingstone. He came over from Scotland in 1854 and then eventually worked his way over to Baden. He built the home and his family lived in the house for about 3 generations.
There is some uncertainty regarding the relationship between David Livingstone and David Livingstone. David Livingstone is who the exhibit features, while David Livingstone is related to the former owner of Castle Kilbride. But are these two Davids related?
Well, James Livingstone had a brother named John who moved to Listowel, and then Dr. David Livingstone also had a brother named John who lived in Listowel as well.
Castle Kilbride is currently displaying a David Livingstone exhibit as part of his bicentenary celebrations. David Livingstone was an explorer, writer, missionary, medic, and anti-slavery campaigner who rose from humble beginnings in Scotland to become Africa's first freedom fighter. Pictures, information on David, the Livingstone clan tartan, medical equipment David took to Africa, and personal belongings such as books are on display. As well, there is a magic lantern slideshow at the exhibit of David, which illustrates his journeys to Africa. In addition to memorabilia from his expedition to Africa, personal touches were seen throughout the house, such as pictures of the Livingstone family. The exhibit has been a crowd pleaser so far among guests.
I love the furniture and the ceilings, and it's just amazing. Yeah, it's absolutely fabulous. Well, I've read a lot about Castle Kilbride and heard a lot about it, but never knew where it was or really a lot about it, so I wanted to check it out and see.
The exhibit will be on display until the end of August. For Spoke TV, I'm Meredith Taylor.
Paying taxes affects everyone. To help low-income families, a Kitchener tax clinic is helping them file their taxes for free. Ali Brogan has the story.
Anti-poverty group Opportunities Waterloo Region recently received good news when qualifying for funding worth $59,000. Executive Director Mary McKeegan explains why this news came as a shock.
Councillors decided that basically thought if we couldn't exist without the full amount of funding we requested, that then why fund them for the half of the funding that was recommended by regional staff.
With tax season in full swing, Opportunity's main program to help low-income families do tax returns has started up.
A fair amount of free tax clinics in the region, hosted by different agencies. And what was happening is they weren't connected, and we did find out, we discovered that people who weren't filling out income tax returns weren't aware of the benefits of filling out an income tax return. And we looked at, okay, well then we need to increase awareness.
The Working Center in Kitchener also works with opportunities in their tax ventures. George Melnick, a second-year volunteer, explains their role in helping the community.
It's a free service for low-income tax people. It's actually organized at the initial level by the government, which makes available a tax program, a U-File tax program, that enables us to e-file people's taxes. And there are certain rules around, we can only do, we're only supposed to do tax filing for people below a certain, with incomes below a certain level.
Last year alone, Opportunities Waterloo Region tax clinics helped complete over $4 million in tax returns. But with their support soon ending, they may struggle to keep their doors open. For Spoke TV, I'm Allie Brogan.